Vegeta here. I just decided to stop by Input's Reviews channel in order to tell you that this video is intended for anyone over the age of 18. And if you don't like it, I don't care. Click that box, stop watching the video now, or you will have to face my wrath!
What am I gonna review today? I really gotta put something up. Man. I just don't know.
Pick me! Pick me!
You wanna be reviewed?
Technically, I'm next on the list.
Well, technically you're right. Alright, bud. Looks like you're next.
Alright!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Input, and in this review I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Takara Tomy Hasbro Pulse exclusive Lobclaw. Okay guys, let's dig right into robot mode. And I gotta say, man, he is another remold of Blot. And oh my god, dude, do you not see it? I've said in every last one of these reviews that Takara is just taking these remold ideas up another notch, man. This is incredible. We've already have one remold in the set with Scalor, and here we have another Blot remold in the set here with Lobclaw, and man, honestly, it's so hard to tell that this is a remold, or this mold has been used in the line for this combined team already. It's very difficult to see that when you compare it with Scalor, but it's also very difficult to see the remold of Blot here. But I mean, it's so there, and it's very, very awesome how they distinguished between the two. See, I'll pull Blot over right here. I'll do all the comparisons. I'll get all the comparisons out of the way first for you guys, and then I'll go into the coloring and stuff and the paint. But here's Blot, and as you can see, the whole idea, and I'll get to that a little later too, him falling over. But as you can see, the claw idea is still there. The whole, you know, it rotates in to make a claw for his arm and hand and everything. So that's very left over from Blot. And it gives him that lobster claw. So I think that's really cool, but it's been completely, this whole upper arm piece has been remolded. But the part they left the same are the claw pieces themselves. So there's your bit of reused parts right here in the claw, but the fact that it's a different color makes it very difficult to tell. And the fact that this is a completely different shape really hides the fact that this is a reused fist and reused hand. And it sits a lot tighter in there than Blot's does. So the head on the back, the transformation is pretty much exactly the same here that you get. The chest is the same, but again, it's painted differently. This one's all gray. The chest is all gray. There's no real breakup paint or anything else, while Blot's is silver with some hints of yellow in there. And the ab-torso area is the same, where this is painted blue, and Blot's is just this purple plastic. And then the crotch area is the same. But again, Lobclaw has this red paint where Blot doesn't have anything, and the crotch and the legs are the same, or the thighs are the same, and just again, different colored plastic. It really, the different coloring here hides the reuse of a lot of these parts very, very well. The bottom of the legs right here is different, but it's also the same. And when I say that, it's also these bottom legs right here. This is Scalor from the same series. this leg right here is the same as Scalor, but again, it's painted different, so it brings out different details. So the red up here is obviously different than the yellow, and this aqua green plastic versus this darker blue plastic. And where they painted this seafoam pink, this aqua pink right here, they left it blank over here, and they painted the tops of the toes. But again, different colors versus different plastic. It really helps to hide the fact that these are the same parts. And the fact that these legs, which are the lobster legs, and versus these, I guess whatever these legs would be for his fish mode, these being different pieces really give the legs a different silhouette. So it really hides the fact that there are a lot of reused parts here on Lobclaw. Now, Lobclaw does not have the added ability to cover up the hole back here in this entire section by opening his mouth like his Seacom brethren does. Doesn't really bother me one way or the other. I think it's covered up enough, and I think that's awesome. The paint on this guy is loads, and the color matching is amazingly well done. The gray right here on his chest is a gray paint, and this right here is plastic. That is spot on, 1-for-1 color matched right there. The black paint right here, again, doesn't really blend in with anything else, but it's painted black. And then, but here's the thing, is that this aqua paint right here is the same color as the plastic here. This plastic back here is actually plastic. It's not painted or anything. And as you can see, it matches so extremely well. Like I said, man, the color matching on this guy just blows my mind. It's intense. I don't understand. Now this, because of the color matching, I don't understand truthfully why that at this point we get color matching so off from the paint and the plastic. This proves that it can be done, and it can be done extremely, extremely well. These guys really set a new standard for really for deluxe class figures in general. I know Siege did that already, but I feel like these guys really take it up to the next level. So he does come with weapons, obviously. He comes with this axe, which is really cool. He comes with this blaster gun thing, which, if you guys watched my live stream, I said was the same gun that came with Scalor. It is not the same gun, or came with Sea-Wing, excuse me. It is not the same gun, and I'll get to that here in a second. And he comes with this gun, which is his tail in his alt mode, which I think is a really neat idea. And it does clip into place. So there is, it's not friction held, it's clipped right there. There's your tabs right there in your tab holes, and it just sits in place, and it's secured very, very well. See, I'll talk about this gun real quick first. This gun right here, like I said, I thought was just a Sea-Wings gun, just without the paint. But it is actually a different gun altogether. This is Sea-Wings gun, and this is Lobclaw's gun. And as you can see, two different guns, just one is painted and one is not. And this is something that's really cool throughout this entire set, is the combination of the weapons. I think is super cool, which I'll talk about that whenever I talk about the combined mode of it for Piranha or Sea King. So yeah, I think, so there's that. The gun, two different guns, which I think is really awesome. They could have just not painted this and repackaged it, but they went the extra mile and gave us a whole new gun, and I think that's awesome. His axe right here is the same color, same aqua color as all the other weapons. It is molded in a black plastic, and it is the same color paint. It's that same aqua pink paint, and I really like this aqua metallic paint. I really do. This aqua pink metallic paint. I think it looks really, really awesome for the figures, and really, really awesome as weapons for the figures, because I really think it goes with the entire motif of the figure itself. Again, they could have left them black. They could have painted them a metallic silver or something. I'm really, really glad that they went with this metallic pink because, like I said, it goes with the motif of the figure. Now, this can also double as a blaster in his hand as well as an axe. So he can be loaded to the gills, pun intended, with all kinds of guns and blasters and stuff. And his last weapon that I talked about is what is his tail in his alt mode. And this is molded in a black plastic and completely painted in this green color. And again, this green color matches, this paint matches that plastic beautifully. It is 1-to-1. It is incredible how well this matches. It's so ridiculous to me that they were able to color match the way that they did. It's just really, really, really cool. And I'm glad he fell because I was about to ask him to transform into his beast mode. He's very back heavy. So if you're going to stand him up, I don't know what exactly is causing him to tip over. I'm thinking maybe it's the combination of this and this extra headpiece section back here. Because the other guys, such as Scalor, he can kind of balance on his rear beast toes. And Blot kind of holds himself up fairly well as well, because a lot of the weight kind of comes forward with his head. But Lobclaw has this extra piece back here, and I think that's what's going on, is that this doesn't fold in. There's no real way to get him, to get a lot of the weight off his back and move it forward a little bit. So he's very back heavy, and he's very prone to tipping over, which I don't think is a bad thing, because truthfully, it's something that's remedied extremely easily by just kind of either leaning him forward or giving him some kind of action pose, or let's be honest, most of us probably won't even display them separately. We'll probably have him or have them displayed in the combined mode anyway. But it's just something out there just to be aware of, that he does tip over. I wouldn't say easily, but easily enough. So there we go. See, and that's my table wobbling, not him. So Lobclaw, if you don't mind, could you please transform into your beast mode or your alt mode?
No problem at all, buddy.
Okay, guys, here we have his beast mode, alt mode, lobster mode, whatever you want to call it. I gotta say, man, this looks wonderful. I mean, there are some little nitpicks that I have with it, which I will address. I'll address it now. So the lobster legs are supposed to tab in to the chest right here. And there's a little tab for it and everything. But they didn't remold the chest, so instead of actually tabbing in, it just kind of sits there and sits in place. And it holds up well enough, because it is, you know, it's on a solid... It's on something solid as it gets something solid, and they're just legs. So they do hold the figure up very well. I don't know, I just would have preferred them to actually tab in, or them to remold it just a little bit for these to be able to tab in. But it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't dislodge or anything, because the weight of the figure is on the legs themselves right here. I have heard that because the way he comes boxed in his alt mode. I have heard that there have been some breakage issues right here in this hinge area. So for transformation, guys, it comes out and spins around and then tucks down. Okay, just for future reference, I'll do it again so you guys. So it comes out and spins around, comes down, and then tabs in. There is a tab right there. The tab hole right there, and that's how you get the leg. So just future reference for you guys, if you guys end up getting this figure, that's how it does transform. And like I said, his gun, like I said earlier, his gun becomes his lobster tail. And the thing that blows me away the most, man, about this figure in his alt mode here is the paint on the inside of the mouth area. That is wicked. I love that tongue. I love the tongue. I love the silver fangs. And I especially love the yellow painted eyes on this guy. This guy is an awesome, awesome homage to his G1 counterpart. And I think it absolutely nails exactly what they were going for. You can, just like the other figures, you can put their weapons. They do have somewhat weapon storage here. You can put their weapons up top, or his weapon up top like this. You could stack it. Or he can have just a giant mounted head laser rifle cannon. This is more for storage in his robot mode, which I did not touch on. But it's more weapon storage for that. The reason why I didn't touch on it is because he's already too back heavy in that mode. This just weighs him down and he topples over that much easier. Now, here's Blot. He's the remold of. This looks nothing like this. They, again, knocked it out of the park here, guys. This is a beautifully done remold. It looks nothing like Blot here. It's amazing what you can do with a simple twist, a simple transformation, different transformation. It's done extremely well. And for comparison's sake, here is his Seacon brethren right there. And again, he transforms very similar to Blot, where the legs fold up and land on his back, just like Blot here does, where his legs collapse and fold forward. This, like I said, folds back and up, but even still, there is a huge, huge difference between all three figures and all three alt modes here. Like I said, this is the guy that originally started it, and he was an awesome, and still is an awesome figure. Alt mode, his robot mode, his alt mode, the whole 9 yards. I even love the rub sign on the top of him. But this is essentially where they started, and this is where they ended up. And I gotta say that these two, especially Lobclaw, really, honestly, just drive it home. They started off with a really good mold, and they perfected it along the way with both of these figures, both Seacon figures. And yeah, final thoughts on this guy. I really got to say, man, just knocked it out of the park. I know a lot of people aren't really digging the price of these guys, but man, I really say they're worth it. 100% worth it, especially if you're going to get just one. This is probably the hardest thing to say. If you're going to get just one, it's really up to you which one that you want to get. This one, Lobclaw here, is amazingly well done. They've all been amazingly well done. So I would say that if you're going to get just one, get your favorite Seacon, and that would be just the one. So, as always, guys, I want to say thanks for stopping by a little bitty channel, and stay safe out there, especially right now. Love all you guys. Don't do anything stupid, and, you know, just enjoy the time off that you got with your family and right now. As always, I'll see you guys next round. Love all you guys. Cut it out. Later, guys.